確かにあなたを利用したことは認めるわ。でもこれだけは分かってほしいの。私が次のステージに行くには彼と一緒になるしかないの。
Hey everybody, welcome back to Game Esoterica and our continuing series, the PlayStation 2 Palace, where I take out some of my favorite PlayStation 2 games of all time and go off into some deep cut tangents with games that are never going to appear on any top 10 lists. Today we're taking a look at Bloody Roar 3, an absolutely weird game that does not make any sense whatsoever, but mechanically is an absolutely outstanding 3D fighting game a la Tekken or Virtua Fighter. It's just one of those games that I 100% remember playing as a kid, and it's stuck with me ever since, even if I don't understand what in the hell is going on. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined to want to support the channel, or if you're into wolves that fight robot beasts, the Patreon link is down below as well. But getting right into Bloody Roar, it is an absolutely outstanding 3D fighting game that has a very weird quirky mechanic that you will see in just a moment. But it is just basically like Tekken. It's that fast 3D fighting, and it has a lot of Virtua Fighter vibes as well. But if you push a button, you can turn into your beast form, and now we have a woman fighting in a full Canadian tuxedo, and she's basically a tiger. Bushima over there turns into an iguana. I don't understand what in the hell is going on, and I never have, but that doesn't mean that I can't have fun with the game. Stylistically, it is out there. They just went for the brass ring of weird, and they absolutely nailed it in first place. Now, this game is developed by Eighting and released by Hudson Soft, and Hudson Soft was the original kind of developer slash reason that Bloody Roar exists, but they worked with Eighting as well on these games, and they did an absolutely outstanding job of making a mechanically really good fighting game. I love the sensation of speed, I love building up the beast meter, all the different combos and different characters like Yuriko here almost has that kind of dancey fighting vibe to her, but she can also turn into an animal and just do that all the way around the ring, so much so that she is dizzy on the end. It is just spectacle as gameplay, and the speed and the fastness that it moves at is why I love the game so much. The animal transformations 100% don't do anything for me, pro or con. I think the models look great and the lighting looks good, but it's just a part of the game that I've never understood, but it doesn't bother me either, because honestly those animals have different moves and great specials, and you do just want to see what's going on. It's kind of like Dead or Alive if Dead or Alive basically featured animals that could be humans. It has that same sort of stylistic look, and I love that they've even put animals in the arenas. We are fighting in a museum and there's a giant T-Rex just bobbing up and down. But just take in the sensation of speed, how quick these matches go. A match can last 15 to 20 seconds tops if you're performing well, and that's why I always compare it to Virtua Fighter in a very good way, because a Virtua Fighter match can also only be 10 to 15 seconds. If you're playing well, if you're tagging your opponents with all of those combos and special moves, it basically feels like you've learned the game, you've mastered it completely, and you have such a great sensation of fighting when you're playing the game. And in that respect, Bloody Roar 3 does an amazing job. But then you can become a mole that basically just has this fire slash attack as well. And that's the part of the game that's just the reason why this is on the deep cut list. It's weird. I mean, let's just admit it to ourselves. Animal transformations, fighting as animals, it's just such an odd idea, but so many fighting games do it, and I'm kind of curious why. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. But you will see there all of the animations when you win a match as well, as her body kind of folds in and crumples up on itself. It just does look spectacular, and that's the thing about this game. It's never going to be in the same conversation as Tekken or Virtua Fighter unless I feel like I'm talking about it, but I do think it deserves to be in there, and it even has that Dead or Alive style breakable floor or other layered fighting arena, and it reminds me of that so much as well. But then you have things like Jenny here in her bat form, which kind of just feel like a Broke-Ash Ruse the Bat from Sonic Adventure in a good and a bad way. It's just such a funny, weird, strange game, but it is also such a great fighting game that I absolutely love, and if you're playing with friends, this game just opens up and becomes absolutely wild. And I always thought the Hudson Soft games had great soundtracks as well, and Bloody Roar 3 is no different, so go ahead and listen for like 45 seconds or so, and I'll come back and show you more animals beating up other animals. But enjoy!
Coming to get me!
Get ready, fight!
think Alice there might just be Amy Wong from Futurama cosplaying in a fighting game, but honestly I think Bloody Roar came out before Futurama, so maybe I'm wrong. Either way, she always reminds me of Amy from Futurama. But back to the soundtrack, the thing I was actually trying to talk about before I got off on that tangent, it is really, really good, and that's the thing about Bloody Roar 3. Everything is really, really good. Even if you're not into the animal transformations or you don't really care about fighting as an animal, the gameplay absolutely does it for me. And as we move on here onto the cityscape, it's just mechanically so sound. There's not a ton of buttons you need to worry about, and everything just makes sense and clicks. It's a very quick game to learn, and it's a game that takes a long time to master. But all of these special moves, I just love all the camera angles and all the energy in the game. And that is why this game is so good. It is so energized. It has the same sensation of speed as Tekken, but I actually think it feels a little bit even faster and more exciting than that franchise. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that Bloody Roar 3 is a better game than Tekken. I'd give Tekken the slight edge, but I think it's a game that way more people need to play because it is amazing, but probably when you hear about it, it's probably always about the animal transformations and not as much about the gameplay, and that is unfortunate because a lot of games sometimes just get talked about for one reason, even if it's not the core reason the game exists in the first place. And that is why something like Bloody Roar 3 needs to be played by more people, and why I was excited to do an episode about it. Because I did have this game back on the PlayStation 2 when it was new, because I absolutely love 3D fighting games, and if there was a new one out and it didn't look like complete garbage or I didn't already read a review, I was absolutely going to buy it. And I love as well here that you have to fight Shenlong. If you get that joke, you get it. If you don't, someone will explain it to you in the comments. But you start in this really small arena with all of these boards up, and you can break through them. Every arena has a certain hook. Some are large, some you can fall through the floor, and others are tight like this here, and you need to break your way into having more space. But I do like that the game will constrict you in some stages, and it makes the fighting mechanic change completely. You'll see here as I back up Shenlong against the wall, he can just burst attack me all the way across the arena. And that's the fun thing. Sometimes you're really up close trying to do that close quarters combat, but you do have moves that'll absolutely move you or your opponent basically across the entire stage, either opening up some breathing room or you just basically get your ass pummeled all the way into the other end. And I do love when you finish a special there and get the KO. It is just absolutely spectacular. But of course it is a fighting game, and like every fighting game, you have to be able to get to the final boss. Now, depending on the day of the week you play, you either get to beat the final boss or you get to lose to him. Today, it was not my day, but I love this arena. I love all of the neon. I really do love everything about Bloody Roar, and I just kind of basically exist with the animal transformations. I think it's a really funny look, and I think just here playing as a bunny is definitely something you're not going to get from any other game, and it does work. It's just not the reason I play a game like this, and I think it might be the reason why a lot of people don't play a game like Bloody Roar 3, because they think it's kind of hokey or they think it's kusoge. They don't think it's worth their time, and I'm here to 100% tell you Bloody Roar 3 is worth your time. And the boss arena has a great soundtrack. Listen for 20 seconds and I'll come back and close the video out. But as we roll this bunny ball up, enjoy the music. Yeah, I lost, and I'll continue to lose to this boss over and over again. That's because I haven't actually played Bloody Roar for like 2 years. When I was putting a list of games I wanted to talk about on the PlayStation 2 together, it's one of the first games I thought about after I realized nobody really needs to keep talking about Tekken. Everything that needs to be said has already been said. But as Jenny the Bat here just absolutely destroys this dude in the air, take my word for it, if you've never played Bloody Roar 3, you 100% owe it to yourself to do so. But leave me a comment down below, tell me if you played this game, and tell me what your favorite fighting game on the PlayStation 2 is, because this video could have easily been about Virtua Fighter 4, which would be my pick. I'll have another PlayStation video next week and videos throughout the week, but we are done, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.